does Squidward have Squilliam's robe? That is clearly not the purple robe he usually wears. That is Squilliam Fancyson III's robe. Why would Squidward have this? Unless they were more than just classmates.
Hi, I'm poor.
Yo, so I am finally checking this out. I know this is literally what, like a year? It's been a year, literally, roughly. So this is the SpongeBob conspiracy, and I know there's a couple of them. So I'm going to work my way up to like the most current one, as well as also I'm going to be ensuring that I finish the SpongeBob horror story that I did start, but I just haven't watched in a while or checked out. But nonetheless, this is the Squilliam theory. Squilliam was like the rich counterpart of Squidward, pretty much. You know, with the unibrow, just fancy, and just had a whole bunch of money and was just pretty much an asshole. I don't know what this theory is going to necessarily consist of, but I guess we will find out. Before we begin, be sure to check out all the links in the description below as well as on the screen. And as always, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell to be notified whenever I post. It gives the video a huge thumbs up.
Squilliam Fancy Son. Squilliam Fancy Son. Squilliam Fancy Son.
Squilliam Fancyson III is Squidward's rival from high school band class.
So, I just took my private yacht across my private lake to my private heliport.
He's more wealthy, popular, and talented than Squidward, and he always rubs it in his face.
That's right. I'm living your dreams, Squidward. Oh, just succeeding in everything you failed in.
What an asshole,
I intend
man.
to prove that he's a fraud, using his wealth to make himself seem more popular and talented than he actually is. He goes to ridiculously extreme and expensive lengths to humiliate Squidward and show his superiority, and I'm gonna prove it. SpongeBob is one of my favorite shows from my childhood. Even going back now and rewatching the old ones, it still holds up. You might think, it's just a kid's show, there's no continuity,
I'm not going to half-ass
about,
rewatch
but the
SpongeBob
show
personally.
constantly brings back characters and references to previous episodes, and if you look closely, you can connect the dots and find some very interesting stories. And today, I'm going to prove that Squilliam Fancyson III is a manipulative fraud.
I mean, he
Evidence
definitely is
number
something.
1, the pet hospital. We first meet Squilliam in Season 2, Episode 15, Band Geeks. The episode opens with Squidward playing the clarinet and getting a knock on the door.
My man's can play.
Yeah, we're with the pet hospital down the street, and I understand you have a dying animal on the premises.
Oh!
Immediately after, Squidward gets a call from Squilliam.
Hello, you've reached the house of unrecognized talent. Please start after the... Sounds as though you've got a dying animal to attend to, eh, old chum?
I believe that not only was Squilliam spying on Squidward to know when he was playing his clarinet, but he also hired the doctor to come and embarrass Squidward.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be
with
surprised.
The pet hospital down the street. Pet hospital down the street.
We have never seen a pet hospital in Bikini Bottom. We've only ever seen just the regular Bikini Bottom hospital. We've seen this.
I mean, Gary has to go somewhere, though.
Once again, he's never worked at a pet hospital. We've only ever seen him at the regular general hospital.
Well, Mr. SquarePants, it seems you have the suds. Are you ready for your treatment?
Hey,
There's this
maybe he's the
creepy
only
thing.
doctor in
We've
Bikini
only
Bottom.
ever seen him
For
as
both
one of the many identical paramedics
them
that
and
work at
animals.
the Bikini Bottom Hospital. We even see him at the end of the episode to take Squilliam away after fainting. So it is very likely that Squilliam hired these two and told them to pretend like they're from a pet hospital just to humiliate Squidward. But this is just the start of Squilliam's elaborate lies. Evidence number 2, the Bubble Bowl. In the same episode, Squilliam also says,
I'm the leader of a big fancy band now, and we're supposed to play the Bubble Bowl next week. The problem is, I'm busy next week and can't make it, so I was hoping you and your band could cover for us.
but we've never seen Squilliam's band before, and despite claiming he's too busy to make it to the Bubble Bowl, he still shows up at the end to watch Squidward's band. So both his excuse and probably his band were made up to pressure Squidward into humiliating himself at the Bubble Bowl.
Yeah,
Evidence
most
number
definitely.
3, Squilliam's friends. In Season 3, Episode 8, Squilliam Returns, Squidward leaves for work and conveniently bumps into Squilliam and all of his fancy friends, despite Squilliam not seeming like the kind of guy that would come near the Krusty Krab. He and his friends make fun of Squidward for working as a cashier.
Hold it! Don't tell me! You're a cashier. Don't lie.
Such a
Mine
fucking
always
dick.
makes it worse.
But I believe that this encounter was planned out by Squilliam in advance, and he hired all of those people to pretend to be his friends. Take a look at Squilliam's friends. They're all nicely dressed. You kind of get the sense.
So
that
this
they're
man is
fancy,
literally just
high-status
out for
members of
Squidward, no
Bikini
matter
Bottom,
what. He willing to
but they
spend
aren't.
all the money
This is
he
more
can.
like what the fancy rich people in Bikini Bottom look like. These are just some regular Bikini Bottom citizens. Most of them usually don't even wear nice clothes like this. And most of them are regulars at the Krusty Krab and would already know Squidward as the cashier.
That's true.
These are not the type of people Squilliam would hang out with. I mean, why would Squilliam be hanging out with one of Pearl's teenage friends? At the end
Squilliam, you have some explaining to do. Hi, I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC. Why don't you have a seat right there? That's exactly what I got from that.
of the episode, Squilliam even admits to his whole life being fake.
I made everything up about my life. I have no yachts, jets, or anything. I was only trying to impress you.
And then, of course, he quickly says he's just kidding.
Is that true?
Of course not. I'm filthy stinking rich.
But was he kidding? I mean, obviously he's rich.
There's always a
but
truth within a
is there
lie.
a nugget of truth in there? Evidence number 4, the statue. In season 7, episode 6, Squidward has to pick up trash for community service, and Squilliam once again conveniently bumps into him and reveals he's cleaned up so much trash the city actually built a statue of him.
Maybe if you clean up Bikini Bottom, they'll build a statue of you. Oh, wait! They've already built one of me! I cleaned up all of Bikini Bottom in only 1 week.
I believe that once again, this encounter was staged by Squilliam, and he actually paid
Yeah, wait a
the
minute.
statue.
They don't even look like
As
him. They look like
Squilliam tells
Squidward.
Squidward about the statue, a female fish admires it and says,
Bless you, Squilliam Fancy Sim. Bless you.
but if you remember, this is one of those friends Squilliam likely paid, making her whole comment feel very
she got a little
fake.
thicker since
By
then.
the end of the episode, Squilliam's statue gets destroyed. A police officer approaches and they have this exchange.
This is your statue?
It was.
Squilliam admits that it's his statue, not the city's. And why else would the officer give him specifically a ticket if it was city property? Evidence number 5, the concert. In
This
season
guy's
6,
digging deep
episode
into the
17,
SpongeBob shit.
Squidward watches Squilliam play the clarinet at a big fancy concert. He receives a standing ovation, causing Squidward to leave angrily. But I believe this entire concert is a scam.
Hold on,
Not
guys. My
only has the
fucking eyes are burning. What the fuck?
audience been paid to cheer, but Squilliam never even touches his instrument. Once again, many of the audience members were part of Squilliam's quote-unquote
So he literally
friends,
has
but we also
all these people
never
on fucking
actually see
payroll.
Squilliam play the clarinet. The episode opens right after he's finished his performance with the audience cheering, and one member of the audience says,
He's such a great musician. He doesn't even have to touch an instrument to be brilliant.
maybe the real reason Squidward leaves so angrily is because the audience cheered for Squilliam even though he never even touched his clarinet. Maybe Squilliam is just as bad as Squidward at the clarinet and he's trying to hide it. Squilliam has
Probably.
gone to some pretty extreme lengths just to humiliate Squidward, but nothing, and I mean nothing, compares to what he does next. Evidence number 6, the music college. In the same episode, after Squidward leaves the concert, he's approached by the headmistress of the Bikini Bottom prestigious music college.
Aren't you the esteemed Squilliam Fancyson III, who we all came here to see perform tonight?
She mistakes him for Squilliam and offers him a position as a professor. Squidward pretends to be Squilliam and teaches a class, only for the police to burst in and arrest him, all while he's being filmed on live TV. And I believe that this is Squilliam's most elaborate and most expensive scheme to destroy Squidward both publicly and legally. This encounter where Squidward gets offered a job is already suspiciously convenient, but listen closely to their exchange.
I'm Squilliam Fancy Sim.
But didn't you just say a minute ago that your name was Squidward Q Tentacles?
It is. No, I mean, no, I didn't.
Well, that's a relief. I mean, what kind of a moron would go to their worst enemy's music recital?
What kind
Yeah,
of
how the
moron
fuck?
would go to their own enemy's music
How does she know
recital?
that?
How does she know that Squidward and Squilliam are enemies? If she knew who Squidward was, then
He
why
got
would
everybody
she
on
recognize
payroll.
him? Why
That's-
would she
that's pretty
mistake
much
him
it.
for Squilliam? This feels way too much like she was hired by Squilliam to set a trap for Squidward. And if that's not enough, the headmistress's associate is literally just a guy from the paid audience wearing a disguise. He just threw on some glasses to seem smart. Squilliam knew that Squidward couldn't resist the opportunity to teach a music class, even if it meant breaking the law.
My very own music class.
This is fucking terrible.
Then we get to the Bikini Bottom prestigious music college, and right off the bat, there's something very fishy about this place. The building itself is very green,
yeah, that's not no fucking college,
and has a very cheap metal look. Nothing about this says prestigious, except for the big sign on top, which feels like the only new thing about this building. I think there is a very good chance that Squilliam just bought some old warehouse, then stuck a sign and some paint on it to disguise it as a college. I mean, look at these other schools in Bikini Bottom. They all have a very nice structure and a paint job, but this prestigious music college looks like a dumpster. Going into the classroom, not only does it have another one of Squilliam's friends, but if this is such a prestigious college, how did SpongeBob and Patrick get in here?
Would you two
Yeah, why
young
are they
skulls
there?
mind telling me what you're doing in music class anyway?
Sure. Patrick's New Year's resolution was to learn to play an instrument.
They say it was their New Year's resolution to take a music class, but you'd think it'd be harder for them to get into an esteemed music school if they just decided to go to it on a whim. Seems like they're just letting in anyone to sell this ruse. Then, both the police, Squilliam and the headmistress, and a live news broadcast show up at the same time to arrest Squidward for impersonating Squilliam.
Yep.
If the extremely coincidental fact that all of these people suddenly showed up at the same time isn't enough for you to believe that Squilliam set it all up, I've got something that's going to blow your mind. Squilliam literally has the police working for him.
Squidward chewed tentacles. I'm placing you
Yeah.
under arrest for
We got the
impersonating
police on the payroll. We got
If that doesn't
these
sound
random
like he's been paid off,
individuals.
I don't know what does. The lengths that Squilliam goes to humiliate Squidward are insane. He literally builds statues and entire buildings just to make Squidward feel inferior. But why? Why would anyone go so
Squidward
far
took
to embarrass
his
an
girlfriend
old
in high
band
school.
classmate? What happened between them? What could have caused this extreme level of dedication?
Squidward had his girlfriend
Well,
playing his
unfortunately,
clarinet.
We never really get much information on their past. I've spent hours reading through the SpongeBob Wikipedia and looking at old episodes, and there really just isn't any clues that would explain their weird relationship. Wait a second.
What happened?
Season 6, Episode 5, Slide Whistle Stooges. Just a normal episode where SpongeBob and Patrick annoy Squidward. Nothing really out of the ordinary.
Oh,
Except I have one question about this episode. Why does Squidward have Squilliam's robe? That is clearly not the purple robe he usually wears. That is Squilliam Fancyson III's robe. Why would Squidward have this? Unless they were more than just classmates. Could they have once been dating?
Oh,
No,
shit.
That's not possible.
Playing
There's
each
no
other's
evidence to support
clarinets.
that. Right?
Don't be intimidated, Squidward. Try to imagine him in his underwear. Oh no, he's hot!
No. It can't be.
I mean, what kind of a moron would go to their worst enemy's music recital?
It's been right in front of us this whole time.
Our sources last saw Evil harassing teenagers up at Makeout Reef.
Makeout Reef. Good time. Good time.
Voted most likely to.
Hey.
High school.
Holy shit!
Look, I'm not gonna lie and say that I never put it, beside me that Squidward couldn't have been gay. I mean, look here. SpongeBob and Patrick practically are fuck buddies or something. Like, they have definitely dabbled in each other's holes or whatever the case may be. Quite sure Squidward and Squilliam or whatever else have done the same. I mean, I wouldn't, again, put it beside me. That was the Squilliam theory. Again, I'm going to be checking out the rest of these theories that are available, as well as, again, continuing the Bikini Bottom horror story as well. But nonetheless, let me know if I missed anything or if you have any theories to add to this in the comments below. But again, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Give this video a huge thumbs up, and I will catch you guys on the next video. It has been DJB. Peace out.